Hello, everyone. Hello. I see people were in early. Let's hope they all come back. I know I am early. It is 4 o'clock here for me, 5 Eastern, you guys know, and then it's 2 o'clock Pacific time. You guys know I come in a little later, well, a lot later. But I have a live tonight at 7:30. You know, it's Cocktails with Heidi. So I have Michael Campbell backstage. So let's bring Michael up so you guys can get to meet him. And then we can have a discussion or a conversation with Michael. So without further ado, here is Mr. Campbell. Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you? So we had a lot of people in and they're coming in again. So everyone is coming in, but they were here early trying to figure out who you were. Hi, Susan. How are you doing? Hi, Julie. Julia. Hi, Unapologetically Curious, my 361. Linda, Tracy, Bunny. Congratulations again. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Gwen. And Susan is here. So we're doing good. Michael, thank you for taking the time out to come have a conversation with me today. I appreciate it. Hi, Katie.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate the invite.
Oh my goodness. So we had a conversation. Hi, dear Yvette. Hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. Oh, she says he's my family. Congratulations. Hi, Dorothy. Yvette is an officer. Hi, Bunny. She's an officer in DC. As a matter of fact, she's watch commander. She's in DC. So, and we're going to get into a little bit of some stuff about this, about the new mayor's incentive and everything else for DC. But before we do that, I want you to tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I am 33 years old. I am a long time Washingtonian. I've been living in DC ever since I was 18 years old. I came across this journey through a journey of faith. However, before I turned my life and changed my life over, I did endure some hardships. Now, I might add they were self-inflicted hardships, a lot of them.
Okay.
Have to be honest here. But
self-inflicted. Wait a minute. Self-inflicted is. Would you like to elaborate a little bit?
Yeah. You know, as young people, when I was younger, we make immature decisions sometimes. Sometimes we don't listen to our parents and to those who God has placed in our life to impart wisdom in us. And we think that we know all the answers. We think that we know what to do, and we go and we make some wrong decisions and we suffer the consequences. And sometimes I made those decisions and I suffered consequences. And I found myself at one point homeless in the city of Washington, D.C. And living right in the neighborhood of Potomac Gardens. And from there, those great people in that neighborhood took me in and clothed me, fed me, sheltered me, and helped me get back on my feet. And while staying there, I met a pastor, Pastor James Dawkins of Greater People Union Baptist Church. And he kind of what was almost an additional bonus parent to me, where he helped me get on my feet, helped me to find employment, and helped me to stabilize myself. So I kind of entered this journey through a journey of lessons learned and an encounter with my faith in God.
Oh my goodness, you definitely have a testimony. I tell you, you definitely do. So when you and I had a conversation, you told me that that your father was a pastor. So is this the pastor that you're just speaking of, or are we talking about your biological father?
Yeah, I'm talking about my biological father that was a pastor. This wasn't, as I said, I was not always listening, but this was another great man who came, and sometimes we might not hear it the first or second time, but we hear it the next time from somebody else,
Yes.
and it clicks.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so your father was a pastor, and you yourself is a pastor.
Yes,
You're a
yes.
pastor. Okay, and you've been a pastor for how long now?
I've been a pastor for 3 years. I've started my church. The church has been here for 2 years. We started in September 2019.
Mm-hmm. And it's a non-denominational church.
Yes, yes, yes. We believe in no, we don't believe in divisions. We believe in total unity. We all share the same faith. We share the same beliefs, and we believe that we won't discriminate with anyone, no matter of how you were brought up, whether you were brought up in a Baptist or Pentecostal. All are welcome at Purpose Driven Kingdom Ministries.
Okay, and your church is located in DC.
Yes, right in Northeast DC at 1204 47th Place, Northeast Washington, DC, right across from Deanwood Metro Station.
Okay, Yvette, you better get your butt in that church. So, okay. So, now you told me that right when you opened the doors of the church is when the pandemic hit.
Yeah, yeah. We opened September, and the pandemic it first approached, I believe, that January, and it got really to the point where we had to shut down that March. So it's definitely was a fight. It was a struggle, but we're still standing strong. Thank God.
Okay, so I just want to get into some things. So, okay, when we were talking the other night, I was asking you about any organizations or anything that you're involved with. So you were telling me about Rising Voices. Tell us about your work with Rising Voices, and better even still, what is Rising Voices?
Okay, well, first, let me give all honor to the Honorable Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton and the National Action Network. He is the founder and the president of the organization. And we here at the DC chapter, where we have the president by our humble servant, President Sister Nia 2X.
Mhm.
We're under her leadership, and under her, she has given me the privilege and the honor of being chair of the Rising Voices in Politics. And there we aim to do different things, such as we fight social injustices that may be going on throughout the DMV. Of course, we encourage voter registration. We hold voter registration drives. We want people to be educated on how their vote counts and the power of their voices and their vote. Sometimes we lead uh, protests and marches. As a matter of fact, this Saturday, the Reverend Al Sharpton will, and the National Action Network will be leading the Voting Rights March this Saturday as we demand the passage of the John Lewis Voting Rights Act.
Okay, so with that, you were telling me now, I don't think everybody is familiar with the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. Would you like to expand on that a little bit?
Well, sure. Out of the 50 states plus the District of Columbia, which should be the 51st state, might I add. But
Yes, you've been trying. Look, they've been trying for that since I lived there. Okay.
it's time to complete the act. But
Okay.
uh, I, the majority, I would say, I would even go as far as to say at least 48 of the 50 states all have bills or laws introduced that will suppress the rights of voters. Something as simple as passing out water in line. Things that they are trying to do just to discourage certain voting districts and certain voters from being able to vote. And the John Lewis Voting Rights Act will protect us from these discriminatory laws being passed. It's
Mm-hmm.
very important that that's our fundamental right in the Constitution of the United States is our right to vote. If we don't have a right to vote, then that takes away our rights to have a voice on any other matter that we may be of interest to.
Okay, so and
And I might add that in addition to that,
mhm.
you also have the rezoning and the redistricting going on, and that inside, included in that law are protections from the redistricting and the rezoning.
Now you know where that bill stands right now, right? So it passed the House with
Yes.
233 votes. Okay, so now it's sitting. It's going to the Republicans. But what 212 of these Republicans are opposing this bill. It says that it faces steep GOP opposition in an evenly divided Senate. So they're trying to stop this bill from going through. And they're saying that the bill is an overreach. I mean, do you believe that this bill is overreaching, or I see it as protecting rights? I saw what happened this last election in Atlanta. I saw what was going on here in Houston. I saw what was going on. They were showing us different things, how they tried to suppress our right to vote by mail.
Yes.
This has been granted. It was normally reserved for military and diplomats that are traveling, but this was an unusual election with everything that was going on. So they tried everything they could to suppress that voting right.
Right.
So, I mean, do you think that it's an overreach?
No, I don't think it's an overreach. I think that it should be passed. I realize that there are obstacles that are holding us back from passage. I believe that, us Democrats, the Democratic Party needs to unite when it comes to this matter. We need to, if not, but if not permanently, we need to at least temporarily come up with a way to do away with the filibuster so that this can be passed. This should be the number one priority of our representatives in Congress.
Okay, so you're running for mayor. So as mayor of DC, that means that you're the chief executive officer. You're responsible for proposing a budget, for signing legislation.
Legislation.
You're appointing departmental directors, committee members, the whole gamut. I mean, you're running the city day-to-day operations, okay? Right now, you have Muriel Bowser in office, she's got 2 terms, okay?
Yeah.
How are you qualified to handle that responsibility?
Well, first of all, let me first say that I'm running for mayor. However, this is a team. We are a campaign team. I'm running to lead a city, but I'm not running to be a dictator over a city. I'm running to listen to our city. I'm running to listen to our residents, to listen to our young people, to listen to those who are disabled, to listen to those who are homeless. And we as a team collectively will have the resources and have the experience that is necessary and to do the job. When you ask me how will I be qualified,
Mm-hmm.
um, I believe that what we need in this city is unity. What we need in this city is to come together to accomplish the mission of advancing both our people and our thriving city as it is already thriving. What we need is an administration that will not just stand for businesses but that will also stand for the people. So I'm qualified to manage people. I do it in my religious organization at church. I have been a business manager throughout my career. I have a degree in business administration, and I believe that it doesn't take anyone that has political experience to lead a city. I believe it just takes a leader to lead a city, and that's what this city needs. This city needs a leader of people and not a politician. It's had enough of business interests put first. It's had enough of a mayor who doesn't listen to all of his residents and who doesn't meet the needs and expectations of the people that elected it. Uh, we need a mayor that's going to represent the people, and that's why I'm running.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask you this, and you and I hadn't discussed this at all. How do you think she handled? And I'm just asking. I mean, if you don't want to answer, how do you think she handled this Black Lives Matter movement last year? How do you think she handled that?
Well, I would applaud um, her painting Black Lives Matter and establishing. Uh,
You know, she painted that on the street where I used to work at, right? The Black Lives Matter mural. I used to work right there.
yeah, and I applaud that effort, that should I say gesture. But we needed that same energy throughout her 2 terms as mayor.
Okay.
Black lives needed that same energy with a failing education system. Black lives needed that same energy, getting paid $15.20 an hour, where they can barely make it to live day by day. Black lives needed that same energy when crime is at an all-time outrage throughout our city. Black lives need that same energy every day, not just when you're on CNN and on the national news.
Got you. Okay, so I have a question from Dion, and she's right up there. She's asking, what are you going to do for the people that you keep speaking on? So I guess she's asking, and I think you just basically answered that. But if you want to elaborate on that.
Yeah, well, I have a bold plan, a very bold agenda set for our administration. And when we elect it, we are going to fight for that. We're going to fight not only for our agenda, but we're going to fight to unite. We want a united DC Council, and we want our agencies to be united so that we can all do the will of the people for a change. One of those things is I want to fight to raise minimum wage to $20 an hour. Our top cities in California, minimum wage is at least $16 an hour. Right now, if you look at the average cost of rent in Washington, D.C., it's $2,126.
Yep, it
Uh,
is.
at $15.20 an hour, that leaves our people with just $3,672 for the whole year. If they're a single person taking care of kids, I mean, washing clothes, feeding, getting food, transportation, healthcare costs. I mean, you name it. And you're talking about splitting $3,000 over 12 months. That's ridiculous. It's impossible to expect our people to live like that. With $20 an hour, if people would have an additional $5,544, that'll be $9,216 throughout the year, which is not much help, but it's definitely a start. We need that minimum wage to be raised immediately. And with that minimum wage being raised, we also want to recognize our tip workers, those who are working and getting tips. We want to make sure that we pay them and make sure that they're getting paid the same amount of money and that their salary is equaling up to the minimum wage. So that's one thing that we want to do. We also got to reinvent our school system. Our education system is failing. And it's sad that our neighboring neighborhoods over in Fairfax County, Baltimore County, even PG County, they're on the top 100 list of school districts in the country. But you don't see the Washington, D.C. there. Why is that a problem? And why has that been a problem throughout the mayor's tenure? Why has she ignored that? Why has she failed to fix it? How many chancellors is she going to appoint and get it wrong? We cannot, our kids can't afford for you to keep trying and failing. Our kids are growing up and missing out on education every time you fail. We can't afford to wait any longer. We need a mayor who is going to speak up for our children, who is going to fight for our children. Um, and lastly, we have to fight this crime in our neighborhood. We have to really fight this crime, and we have to fight it not by reacting to it, but we got to get proactive, and we got to look at prevention. We got to invest in our mental health, in our Department of Behavioral Health. We got to look at what's causing these issues. What's how we are failing our young people at a young age. And then when they grow up and do criminal activity, we look at them and we say, hey, it's your problem. You're a criminal. Well, we don't even recognize that we failed them as a city. We failed them as a government back when they were 2 and 3 years old. We have to reinvest in our youth as well.
Do you think DC was better off when Marion Barry was in office than where they are now?
I do believe Marion Barry, he is definitely my inspiration, and he's still to this day is my motivation to run for office. And I definitely think that I will say that the people were in a better place when Marion Barry was in office.
Yeah, I was there, and he started the summer youth job programs. I remember all of that. He was the mayor of the people. How many mayors can go to prison, come out, run for an election and win? He was a people. He was the mayor for the people. And that's something that I can always stand by. Now, he did some stuff, but he was a beloved man. He did things for the people of DC.
And I wholeheartedly agree. Now if you may ask some business owners or something like that, if the city is better under Muriel Bowser, they may say yes. But like I said, I'm running not to be mayor for businesses like Bowser. I'm running to be a mayor for the people.
Oh, well, okay. So let me just ask you. So Carl Racine, he is DC's first attorney general. First attorney general. He won both, he got elected, and then the second election, he won by a landslide, like over almost 93% of the votes. How do you think having an attorney general is benefiting DC right now?
I think it's much overdue. I'm so pleased, and I commend the work that Sir Carl Racine has been doing. I would definitely look forward to working with him in the future when I'm elected, and I think that it was long overdue. DC needs its independence, and we need someone fighting on our behalf. And I'm glad that that has been established. We just have to keep going further and becoming that 51st state.
There you go. So right now, the makeup of DC, as far as ethnicity go, you have 46% Black, 41% white. You have, I don't know what they meant by other race, but 4.98%. Then you have the Asian population is almost 4%. When I was there, I can remember the Asian population being a lot, but this is just in DC, that's living in the DC area. And I remember up around going towards the National Zoo. That was mostly Asian and European up in that area when I was there. But when I went back, but a year before the pandemic hit, all of that had changed. Yeah. Everybody is moving out of DC and they're going into Maryland, or they're going into Virginia. They're going into Bowie and all these other places. And when I was talking to you, I was telling you about the wharf and how I felt. I understand progress, but they've taken away that natural beauty that was down there. I think that you're trying to turn it into the way the Inner Harbor is in Baltimore, which is gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. Right. But you've displaced a lot of people that was in that area.
Right.
And, I just, every time I go, I'm like, okay, where the hell am I at? Because I can remember going down and getting in the tidal boats, getting in the little boats and all of that, the basin over in that area. But parking is gone. There's all these structures that are up. It's like it's taking away the natural beauty that was there in
Right.
place
Yeah.
of businesses. And I'm going to agree with you on that. So, it's just a lot going on. But right now, if you look at the population, some has it at 690 plus 100,000. Then you have some that have it at 704. So around anywhere between 690,000 people to 750,000 people. Is that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. And DC is not that big. You got to think about demographic. You're not that big. The density is small for DC.
Yes.
So, but okay, so I'm just going to ask you just a few more things. So, Mayor Bowser right now, she's put it on August 10th. She made this announcement that all Washington, D.C. employees have to be vaccinated. What are your feelings on that?
Well, I definitely am fully vaccinated myself. And I do strongly encourage the vaccination of all people. I believe it's very important, and I believe that we all should be vaccinated.
Okay,
With that being said, I do not. With that being said, I do not believe that we, as a government, can get into the habit of forcing people to do anything against their will. I believe that we all, just as we have a God-given right that we fight for, the right to vote, we have a God-given right to a free will. And I believe that everyone has a right to make a decision based on what they feel is in the best of their personal interest for their health and for their kids. Now, if you choose not to be vaccinated, I do believe that you should be tested regularly, that you should be practicing social distancing, and that you should be making sure that you're wearing your mask. But when it comes to someone losing their job, that's a place I'm not willing to go.
That's what I was getting at. So she's put this in place. She's saying it's like the military. They want all of their soldiers to be vaccinated by a certain date in September, which we knew that was coming. But when you're looking at a city, and I think she's following in the place of the U.S. government. But when you sit there and you're telling people you're either, and this is just my assumption, that you're either going to get vaccinated or you won't have a job. I don't think that's the way to go. And I like your plan. They should be regularly tested, but that's the way I was reading what she put into place. Am I mistaken by saying that?
No, I mean, I totally agree. No one should lose their job for not being vaccinated, period.
Okay.
They should be subject to the testing, of course, and all of CDC guidelines should be followed. Like I said, I strongly recommend the vaccination.
Okay.
But no one should be forced into doing it.
Okay, so Dion is asking, she's saying, why when the vaccinations has not been approved by the FDA? You can make people, and that's true.
Well, FDA did approve. They did approve the vaccination yesterday.
Yes, that's what I heard. Thank you. I was about to say, I thought I heard. Did they approve Pfizer or they?
I believe it was the Pfizer, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that.
I think it was Pfizer.
But they did approve one of the vaccinations yesterday.
Okay, so unapologetically. So I knew with the government, they were saying they had to be vaccinated by September 13th. Now, I heard about this back in July, as far as military personnel goes. I heard that they were making them, which my sons knew it was coming. So they had all of theirs done way back when, because they knew it was coming. But when it comes to these kids, okay, we're talking about youths, 12 to 17 years old. The mayor of DC right now is doing an initiative to have these kids vaccinated. So if you choose to have your child vaccinated, if they're of age, they can either get a $51 Visa gift card, or they can forego the gift card and they can do the AirPods. With AirPods. So
Right.
I'm taking it, she's saying 51 because you're trying to become the 51st state again. So, but to me, that's like bribing a parent. That's bribing somebody to have their, which they need it, because these schools right now is so much kids running back and forth to the hospital. I just found out yesterday that my great niece and my great nephew and their dad, my nephew, all were infected with C-19. I just saw them 2 weeks ago. So I got nervous when I heard it. But they were, so I get it. You want to get everybody vaccinated that's eligible to be vaccinated. But when and I know the government was off, some of them was doing 1,000, some doing 100, but where do you draw the line? And then you're giving them $51, hey, get vaccinated, and then, after that's gone, if you get vaccinated at Anacostia and Dorothy Heights High School, you can still get the $51, or you can get an iPad or something, and they're going to do a drawing. But you have to prove, if you're chosen, that you've been vaccinated, and then you're eligible to get $25,000 college scholarship, $25,000 college scholarships. What the hell? How do you come up with this? I'm serious.
With this one, in all fairness to the mayor, I do believe that she is in line with our Democratic colleagues and the Democratic agenda as a whole, which is, I don't believe it's in the name of bribing. I do believe that
sorry, I said bribing, but that's
I do believe that she is simply just trying to incentivize.
Yes.
But while we're on this subject, if I may, let's rewind and remember that under this same administration, I'm not sure if parents are aware, but there was also a law passed by the DC Council that allows teenagers under the age of 18 to get vaccinated without their parental consent. So
I did not know that.
So let's keep in mind that they first allowed this to pass, and then a year later, here we are with incentivizing these same teenagers, where they can make a decision on their own.
Even at 12 years old, when you can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't vote, but you're giving them the right to get vaccinated without having a parent's approval.
Yes. I can't say that it's at 12. I have to check the exact age. I don't want to be misquoting. I don't have my notes with me. But under 18, yes.
Okay, what I read was if you're 12 to 17, you got 51, and then 18 and 21, as long as 18 through 21, as long as you're pursuing a high school diploma. So when you're telling me under 18, that falls in that group with 12 to 17.
Yeah.
That's where that falls at to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I'm seeing. And that's what I was, and I didn't even know that they passed that law. And that was a surprise to me.
Yes. And at the National Action Network, they have been trying to fight it and trying to speak out and educate parents about the decision that was made. But that would have never happened under my leadership.
That's what I'm saying, because you're not even supposed to question anyone under 18 or anyone that has any kind of physical, mental or physical disability without having an adult there within their full capacity. You know what I mean? That has their full mental capacity. So how do you sit there and say that a child can make a decision?
It's totally ridiculous to me, to be honest.
Okay. I just want to make sure that oh my God, you threw me for a loop on that one. You really threw, I'm like, what? I wish my child would have came home and said, oh, I got the shot today because I didn't need your permission. It'll be me, you, the mayor, and everybody else. We'd be all out there in the streets, I'm telling you. So I'm just like, but so I don't know if you saw this, but a couple of weeks ago, it was on IG. It was some of your wonderful cops in DC on 16th and some street that went to arrest someone, and they were caught on camera. One cop beating this guy all around the head, the back, the kidney, punching him. He was held up against the fence. He wasn't fighting. He wasn't resisting. Did you see that video?
Yes, yes.
What do you think about that?
I think that the issue of police brutality has gone on for far too long. Our police need to be held accountable to the maximum standard, and we have to make sure that we don't cause a division. Sometimes we think that it has to be one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
We can reduce crime. We can clean up our neighborhoods and clean up our streets. We can also hold police accountable. We can also make sure that our police are well trained, are well instructed, and that they're doing what they're supposed to do. We don't have to have where either you're for the police or you don't have to. You can support both sides. We can have a clean city where there is no violence. A 6-year-old should not be getting shot and killed. It's just what's going on in this city right now is far from ridiculous. And as I've said with the education system, the mayor has had far too long to fix these issues. And even I'd even say the council has had far too long to fix these issues, and they're not happening. Meantime, our brothers, our sisters, our daughters, our sons are dying. We can't afford to keep taking chances. We can't afford for you to try to get it right this time. We have to get it right now.
What is your slogan for this campaign? Please tell them.
Nobody left behind. I am fighting for a city where not just businesses thrive, not just a certain ethnicity thrive, not just a certain religious or culture thrive, but where every single resident have a chance for an enjoyable life right here in this district. I'm fighting for a city where everyone can thrive and everyone can progress together. Nobody has to be left behind. And if I'm your mayor, I'll make sure, whether you're in Potomac Gardens or whether you're in Georgetown or whether you're in certain quarters, that you will not be left behind.
And I like when you said hashtag together we can.
Yes.
I love that.
Because it can't be me. It can't be me on my own. That's what I said earlier. I have an administration. We have a team that we're going to do it together. We're going to get out here in the streets and we're going to hold summits and we're going to listen to our citizens, to our residents, not only to the adults but to the youth. There should be a young person from every single ward representing the students in our school board of education. Why is there only 4 representatives when we have 8 wards? It makes no sense. There should be someone from every single ward. So we're going to listen to our young people. We're going to listen to our middle class. We're going to listen to even our elderly and those who are disabled. I have a little nephew who suffers from autism. We have to listen to these things, and we have to hold ourselves accountable. We need to believe another thing that I want to do is I want to reestablish the credit of the Office of Open Government, the DC Office of Open Government. We had Tracy Hughes there, and she was ousted for revealing truths. And we have great people who work every day just watching and trying to hold the government accountable. People like Dorothy Brazil. She's a great person, and we need people like Dorothy Brazil to hold this government, to hold these agencies, and to hold even myself as mayor accountable to make sure that the finances are spent the way they should. And that's what this district needs.
Oh my God, Michael, I just want to come move to DC so I can vote for you and help you work on your campaign. I'm telling you. I am so serious. So I know you have a campaign manager right now. You're working. So what people don't know is that you need 2,000 signatures to get on the ballot.
Yes.
And you cannot file your forms until January, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so within that time, you're working, you're putting together, your strategy, your team. I'm going to send you the link for this so you can have it. That way you can download it, you can share it. But I need, anybody that's in the DC area, if you're able to volunteer or if you're able to help out in any manner, get with Michael. I'm going to put his description.
You can email us at Together DC
Hold on. Email Together we can.
Together DC can.
Oh, Together DC can. I forgot. Okay, I'm sorry. Together DC can. DC can. Okay.
At gmail.com.
Yes. So I am so serious. I was checking out your IG page and I was very impressed with the graphics and everything you put up and with the details that you had. And and myself, I like to go be nosy. I like to research stuff for myself. I like to go look into other things. But I just wanted to have a conversation with you just to see where you stood and what you were going to bring to the table. And you really did impress me. You really did. And I just want to say thank you for your time. Yvette, anyone, do you have any questions for our next mayor? Well, your next mayor of DC. Because, if you guys have any questions, I know I put a few of them up there. Somebody was asking about summer jobs and, is that summer job program still going on? I mean, I know it was going strong for the longest. Is that summer job?
Yeah, it's still going on. COVID has derailed a lot of things, but the summer youth program is definitely still going, and as long as I'm mayor, it will continue to go.
Okay, and your church is located at 1204. What again? I forgot.
1204 47th Place, Northeast, Washington, D.C.
No, look, they're being funny. Heidi is not impressed easily either, but you did. You really impressed me. And I just want people to know that he gave me a little background when he and I talked on the phone. So I wanted to know the general area and where to go. And then I just went, okay, let me find some stuff that I really, I know people would want to know the answers to and get your reactions to different things. So I didn't really shock you too much, I hope, but
no. And that's what we need. That's what politicians need. We need to make sure that we're being honest. I never ask anyone that's doing an interview on me. I don't come out and ask, what are you going to ask? Just come to me and I'm going to give you my honest answer. And that's what we need.
Well, thank you for that. And I really appreciate your time. And do you have any other words you want to say before we get out of here?
This election that's coming up is very, very critical. It's very, very important. Those who are residents of DC, I'm sure you can already see it. I'm sure you can already feel it. But this election will determine which route this city goes in for the next 25 to 30 years. So I urge you to get out there to make sure that you are registered properly so that you can vote for a change and vote for a better tomorrow.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate it. Or should I just say next Mary like Campbell? How's that?
Sounds good to me.
Thank you. And you're getting accolades in here. And I really appreciate you being here. If you ever want to come back, you've got more stuff to say, you can reach out to me. You have my phone number, you have my email, you got my IG, and tell your campaign manager, keep on with the good fight. You guys are going to do awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll talk at you later. Bye, Michael.
Right. Bye.
Oh my God, that was great. I want to say thank you to those who made it. I know I'm early, but I will be back at 7:30 along with Debbie. We're having our cocktails tonight. So, Michael, if you want to come back, have cocktails with us tonight. But it's 19 Crimes Night, and we're going to be discussing Real Housewives of Beverly Hills along with Married at First Sight and whatever else comes up on the menu. So I want to say thank you to all of you. You guys have a great day. Michael, don't go anywhere. I'm coming. You guys have a great day. See you later. Bye.